Good everyone, my name is Graphics. If you look at the right hand side of the screen, you see a question, and the question says we should draw the isometric projection of the given views, right, making point A the lowest point of the projection, right? So when you hear the word isometric, the first thing that you should do is to draw a what? Your isometric axis, like drawing your y-axis this way, then drawing your z-axis this way, and your x-axis this way. And see that? Now the next thing is, if you look at it, this is the elevation and this is the plan, because it is in third angle projection. That is why the plan is on. So if I want to get the length, right, I'll get it from the front elevation, and we should know that the elevation and the plan have the same length, which is what, 100. And what do you notice? The 100 has a square in front of it, meaning that all round is what is 100, right? The rectangle here is not a rectangle, it's a square. So I'm going to measure 100 here and also 100 here as my elevation and my side view, my length and my breadth here. So I'll come here and I'll take my meter rule and I'm going to measure 100. So from 0 to 10 is 100, right? And also from here too, from 0 to 10 is also my 100. And the height, you also get the height from the elevation here, which will be 25 plus what? 60, and that is 85. I'm going to measure 85 upward this way. From 0 to 8 is 80, then in the middle of 9 and 8 is what? Is 85. So this is what we have here. Alright, so now I will now use my 30-degree set square, right, and project. Now what I'll do is, what I use to get this part here, I will move it up to do the same thing at this point here, and also the same thing at this side here too. Can you see that? And I'll place it on my t-square again. Then this point I marked point 100, I'll move it to touch up here. Then this point that I marked here, point 100 too, I'll move it up to touch here. You can see that? So since I use this to draw this way, I'll move it. Then I'll come here to do the same thing here too. And I'll come here too to do the same here too. Hope you can see that. So I've built out the shape. Now it's a way to start carving out. Now what I'll do here is, the height from the elevation here is given to be 25. So I'm going to measure 25 from 0 here. This is 25 here, right? And with that, I can easily use my set square and I'll channel it. I'll thicken it to touch the other side here, just to save our time. I'll come here too. I'll do the same thing, thicken it to touch, to save our time. You can see that. And can bring it down too. And I'll come here too, I'll bring it down. And I'll come here too, I'll bring it down. Then I'll close it up with faint line. Let me also do the same thing here too with faint line. Now before that, in between here, you can see this slot, say 2 slots, meaning that from the, you can check from the plan now, you see this 2 hidden line, meaning that there's a hole going through horizontally and vertically. So that's what they mean by the 2 slots. And the thickness, the width of this, the length of it is 50. So I'm going to, from here, I'll measure the 100 that I have here. Hope you can see that. Let me come here. I'll measure the 100 I have here. From here to here is 100. And I'll take the midpoint of it, which is 50. So that 50 you see will now be my 0. So I'll measure 25 to the right and 25 to the left. Can you see that? 25 to the right and 25 to the left. Now the height of that is given to be what? 12. So I can just take this up this way, faint line first, take it up a little bit, front line first, and here also front line first. So we're told the height is what? Is 12. So I'll just measure 12 from 0 to this point here is 12. I will now use to thicken it out. So I'll thicken it out from here. I have this. Then from here, I have this. And from here, I have this. And I can easily take it in here because it's going through, just like you can see those hidden lines from the plan. So this is going through. Then I can easily close the rest part here. You can see that. I'll do the same thing here too. So I will not want to stress myself. I'll just take my compass. I'll place it here this way. Take it to this point. Since they're the same, I'll mark here. I'll come here too. Place it here. I'll also mark here. Right? Then I'll come here also, take the measurement here, which I'll come to this point, and I'll just mark anywhere up here. So look at what I'm about to do. So I can easily come here, since this, and taking this, then taking this, then I'll take this up to touch that point there, that arc I marked. Then I'll take this up to faint line first, which I'll just take from this point to touch here. Then from this point to touch here. Right? So this is going in. Can you see that? So these are the 2 slots. Slot from here and a slot from here. Now the next thing is to get the hexagonal shape up there. So what I will simply do is I will get the center of this figure here. How can I get the center of a plane figure? Is by joining diagonal. So if I join this diagonal, it will be somewhere around here. And this one is already there already. Just from here, I don't have to stress myself. So this is this one diagonal here. So this is the center point we have here. So I will now use my line to pass through those points. So this is one center line, and this is another center line. Hope you can see that. Now what I've just done here is we're given that it is 60 millimeter across flat. So the hexagon here is across flat. That means the hexagon is across flat here. So I'll just take half of 60, which is 30. And I'll measure. Look at what I want to do. From 0, right? And I'll measure 30. And I'll place it at this point here. now mark here along this line. Can you see that? Now I'll use my set square and draw lines across this line. Across this line. Right? Then I'll come here too. I'll do the same thing too across those lines. So this is where they are meeting. Now, what I'll do here now, you just see and observe what I want to do. What I'll simply do here is set across flat, right? Meaning that from here to here, that's where our hexagon will be. So what I will just do is this. I will construct an hexagon across flat here. Look at what I'm doing. Just a side walk. Just draw my vertical and my horizontal line here. Just take it. Now draw this way. You can see that. Now measure the 30 you measured here. And you come here, right? And you draw your circle. Hope you can see that. So when you draw your circle, I make it more visible. Let this come down a little bit. Right? So let me make it to come down a little bit. So with this, we will now take my set square and draw across flat. So when I place it, we're standing at angle of 0 degree. I'm going to draw a line this way. Right? I'll move it up again, do the same thing here. I can just do it in both sides first. Come here too. I'll do the same thing here too. Hope you can see that. And I'll come here too. I'll do the same thing here. And I'll come here too. I'll do the same thing here. So this is what I have here, my hexagon. This is my hexagon here. Across what? Across flat. So once I've done that, what I'll just simply do here is make it to complete a rectangle. So if I draw this out this way, and I draw this out this way, then I'll bring this out to touch this, then I'll bring this out to touch this. Hope you can see that. So I'm going to term here to be point A, point B, point C, and point D. Then I can easily call it to be E and F. Look at what I'm doing. Now, so now what you just do is, this is A and B. Let's call the midpoint to be P and Q. How good now? So since it is facing this side here, so this is my point P. The center is what? My point P. So I want to get G and H. This point P, this point P. I want to get G and H. What would I simply do? You just place it at point P, then you take it to H, right? And you come to point P, you mark H, and also you mark what? G. So these 2 points here, this is G and H. So let me just print that out. This is what? G and H. because they say that cross flat. There is what? G and H. So if I should come here, this is my point G and my point H. Similarly, if I come here with the same measurement I have, I'm going to place it at this point. From this center point here, I'll come down here. Can you see that? And I'll place at the center here. I'll mark left and I'll also mark right. Can you see that? So I'll take G to touch E. That will be my point E. So G to touch E, and also H to touch E. Hope you can see that. Now I can easily just transform the point. Instead of doing the same thing, just take my set square, or you can come here also and take from Q P to H again, because P to H is equals to Q to this point here. So I can just come here and mark the same thing. So I won't have stress myself. Just take your set square and transfer that point to this point, mark here. Similarly, transfer this point to this point, mark here. So that is where you will not join. So I'll join this to this point. And I'll join this to this point. Then I'll join this to this point. Hope you can see that. Right? So in doing that, then the next thing I'll do is see what I want to do here now. I'll take this line here. I'll trace it to this point. Also take this line here. I'll trace it to this point. Then I'll bring it down this way to touch here, and bring this one down to this way to touch here. Just mark it. So from that point, that is when you just draw your horizontal line and also draw your horizontal line, meaning that this point is coming straight down here, and this point is coming straight down here. Hope you can see that. Now the next one is the next point too. So I can just bring here down this way to mark here, then take it in this way. So this point is coming straight down here, then that will be behind, so I don't have to show that. Then I'll just join from here to here, and from here to here. Can you see that? Then the next thing is still the same point. Remember this line here. So I'll just bring this down. This point here, just take it down to touch here, and I'll close it up here. You can see that while the rest is behind the figure, so that will not show. So what I will just do is I will perfect it. This line will move from here to touch here, and this line will move from here to touch here. So you see what we've just done? We've just reproduced this given figure. You can see at the left and right hand side of the screen in isometric projection, and this is the hexagonal shape here, right? These are the two slots you can see, so they're all hidden going in, so I don't want to show those hidden lines, right? So if you have found this video helpful, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and also share the video. Thanks for watching.